Hi, how are you? I hope this finds you well. I'm going to continue with our saltine cracker series. Yep, saltines. If you haven't seen the other ones, then I'm going to encourage you to do so. They are not, what's the word I'm looking for? Cumulative. Each one is individual, and you can watch this one, but if you're interested in more about saltine crackers and the things that the Lord has shown me through doing communion for 11 weeks now straight, then go back and look. I'd love for you to watch the other ones and let me know what you think. Today, I'm going to talk about probably a not shocking aspect of our cracker, of our saltine cracker. Here's my cracker. I started a new cracker. So, yep, I'm carrying around a saltine in my car because I'm doing communion, not all the time, but most of the time on the road. So, it's great. Driving makes a great time for praying and letting your heart be known to the Lord. And listening, too. So, with our saltine today, which is the 6th part, we're going to talk about salt. So, that seems like a fairly obvious thing. So, in Luke and in Matthew, Jesus talks about we are to be, when he is right after the Beatitudes, okay, in Matthew specifically, and before he gives the Sermon on the Mount, which is coming. I mean, it's in 6, so it's right around the corner. He talks about how we are to be salt and light as his body, okay. So, what do we know about salt? One, salt is a preservative, right? So it preserves life. I always think about Laura Ingalls Wilder. And I think of it because the very opening book of that series, they have just killed the pig, which, by the way, would not be biblical, or at least Jewish. They've killed the pig, and they're making salt pork, right? Because they didn't have refrigeration, and they needed that meat to be able to live through the winter months. So it's a preservative. It cures it. What does that mean? It means it kills any bacteria and any ability for rotting to take place. And so it cures it. Okay, so think about that. We're supposed to be salt. Preserve life, if you will, make something last and not bring something to death, not have something rot. Okay, but salt is also used as a flavor enhancer, right? So eggs and potatoes are two of the things that I think of that just a little bit of salt can make a giant difference. Isn't that right? So has anybody ever accidentally substituted salt for sugar when they're baking? Oh my gosh. It takes a lot of sugar to make something sweet, but it doesn't take very much salt to make something salty. So let's go with the adage of, yeah, but it's just me. What difference could I make? Okay, well, what difference, how about this? What difference did Billy Graham's pastor make? Okay, so without Billy Graham's pastor, there wouldn't be Billy Graham and the millions of people that he impacted, right? So one person can make a big difference. A little salt goes a long ways. But let's talk about a specific aspect that I was researching in the scriptures. I found in 2 Kings 2, go down to verses 19 through 20. I can't remember. I think it's 5. Elisha has had a grievance brought to him by the people of Jericho. And they said that the land is bad and the water is bad. If you're a farmer, it's pretty important that you have good water. Because if you don't have good water, or good land for that matter, but if you don't have good water, then nothing's going to grow. So it was an entire area, and Elisha's instructions were to bring a new bowl. It's a bowl, essentially. You can go look that word up a cruise. Bring a new bowl of salt and bring it to him. And he went and he threw the salt in the water, and the water was healed, and it's healed to this very day. That's what the word says. Okay. Isn't salt water bad? Yes, if there's too much salt, but there are things that live in salt water that cannot live in fresh water, right? But you don't want salt water on your land. Remember, I just discussed agriculture. But a little bit of salt can do a massive change. What's the representation here? What did we just say? The Lord healed the water through the salt. He healed the water through the salt. Okay. This made a giant impact on tons of people by a little bit of water. By a little bit of salt and a lot of water. And it's healed to this very day. That healing that was represented for the people of Jericho is lasting. Oh, didn't we just say salt was a preservative? Yeah, we did. So when we take our saltine, we're supposed to be salt of the earth. We're supposed to remember that a little bit of salt can make a big difference in this world. You're not too small, you're not too puny to actually have something that is tremendous in impact for the Lord on this earth. And even though it makes no logical sense, a little salt in an entire water area can cure the land and everything in it. Remember that as you take your saltine today. When you do your saltine, when you eat your communion, we've focused on the cracker so much. But from the cracker, from the Lord, from everything that he did through his burial, his death, burial, and resurrection, we are to be salt and to take healing and preservation into the world. Blessings.